and the budget will balance itself.
Justin is now changing his tune. He now says today he will run a deficit, a modest deficit. I guess it turns out the budget doesn't balance itself after all. But he'll run he says, a modest deficit, a tiny deficit.
All those projected deficits could add well over $100 billion to the national debt.
What we found out in this budget is a confirmation the federal budget will not be balanced until you're 50 years old, and you will be paying for the $1 trillion in debt.
Less than 2 years, the Prime Minister has turned a conservative balanced budget into decades of liberal deficits.
And spend he has, but he spent it all, and now he's spending more. The deficit is 3 times what he promised this year. The reality is that the out-of-control, promise-breaking deficits of this government will lead to higher taxes down the road. There's no question.
He said there would be a $1 billion surplus. His government recorded a $39.4 billion deficit. And all that was before the pandemic.
Regardless of what that figure is exactly, future governments are going to have to carry that debt. The servicing costs on that are going to be very high.
Sorry?
The servicing costs on the debt that you're going to have to carry, that you're adding to now, right?
Interest rates are at historic lows, Glenn.
Okay, but it's still a lot of money.
No.
It's still a lot of money.
No.
David, let's talk about the numbers first. A deficit of $354 billion this year, $1 trillion in debt, no target date for a balanced budget. How are Canadians going to swallow this?
So I read that there's a $90 billion windfall.
It's projecting that it will be up to $40 billion by this year, and over the next 5 years, it's expected to climb. Debt costs are expected to climb to about $60 billion by 2028.
We see signs of a stalling economy, as well as many people are still struggling financially. Can your government exercise fiscal restraint at such a time? What are those challenges?
First of all, we are a government that has always exercised fiscal restraint.